Good morning from sunny Bettendorf, Iowa. We have an action-packed show. I have a couple great co-hosts today. We have a lot of things to talk about. A few things popped off on my screen, but the markets are up. That's where we're starting. No guarantees where we finish. I'm sure all of you out there in Grainland are excited to end this week and want to end it on a positive note. Couple quick things to talk about. We have some dynamic moves in natural gas. We have some moves in outside markets. Crude oil's creeping back up. We had exports and none other than Connor B to break it down with. Connor, talk to us. I know you're a little under the weather. You've been working hard. I understand you filmed you were filming a different podcast yesterday. I think we should start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll apologize for if I start coughing. It's the benefit of having little kids. They just pass it right on to you. And so, yes, yesterday I had the opportunity to be on with Cesar Delgado, Backroads of Illinois podcast. I think you've been on it too, Tommy. This is a young man. He has cerebral palsy. He decided young in life he was going to be involved in agriculture and ag broadcasting in particular. So I'd encourage everyone, give him a follow on YouTube. Check it out, Backroads of Illinois. I had a great time being on with him.
This is Caesar. He was involved in the FFA. I didn't tell him we're putting all this on there, but he'd be so excited. Speaking of excited, he texted me yesterday and he said, I have 99 subscribers to my YouTube channel. And I said, hold on, you have 100 now. And with that, if you guys want to help this young man, it would totally make his day. Backroads of Illinois. You're going to be shocked at the quality of guest he has on in the format of his podcast. He's just an inspiration to all of us. And
I feel bad he dropped the quality having me on.
Well, yeah, and it actually you did really well on that. It was fun, and of course you get to prepare hair, everything. What's the biggest, baddest breaking news we have today? I know Brady's coming in at the end to talk cattle. We have cattle on feed. Some things happening in grains here. I know we have a live studio audience here. Two little dogs. They're behaving. What do you got for us?
Yeah, let's kick it off with the daily sale. We've got a sale 10.9 million bushel of soybeans to China. Tommy, I think this is the first flash sale we've seen in is it over a month? It's got to be close to a month.
It's been a while.
We have not seen that soybean demand. So a good sign, right? Hopefully we see some follow through. We talk a lot about that seasonal chart with our soybean export demand and how we're getting close to the precipice of that falling off. And so it'd be good to see a nice little run up and see some bean buying. It'd really help the soybean complex. And as we're seeing, we've got green on the screen, Tommy. March beans up 7, March corn up 3. So good to see that sale.
Yeah, the dynamic moves in cattle. It doesn't take an expert. You and I, Brady, Joe, Rick, we were talking about it off camera before when we're preparing for a show. It doesn't take an expert to know there's an American farmer who had a cost production of say 555, maybe 475. Folks, we have cash corn in the lower fours. If you're watching and there's analysts out there saying corns could bounce, yeah, they're a real genius because corn could bounce and it may bounce. But what does a bounce look like, right? The markets go up, the markets go down. If they're open, they can go limits. What I always say, where's markets going? Well, the most corn will be allowed to move is this much. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Corn's up 2 or 3. I'll tell you what won't be exciting is if we check back in later this afternoon and beans roll over, corn rolls over, everything else that wouldn't be good. But yes, export sales. We had a great chart of that the other day where you see these, obviously at our harvest, you see those export sales really get boosted here as the grain floods the river system, hits the PNW, and then that line starts to fall off. That'd be really great next week if we had to revise one of those and we started showing that, which wouldn't necessarily be with seasonals, that export demand was picking up. With that, we have we have so many things that people want to talk about. Speaking of talking about, we're on the world tour, last day tomorrow, going to South Dakota tonight, South Dakota Corn Growers. What a great annual meeting. By far the most organized. I guess I don't get invited to them all, but one of the best organized, just good events. People will be in a good mood. A lot of cattle folks are going to be up there. I'm going to have to be ready for some questions with that. Of course, we have to talk about corn. Where are you in your corn marketing cycle? Did you do nothing for 23? Do you like how you did on 23? What are you doing in 24? I know for advanced trading clients, all of us are sending out an actionable alert for some things that we need to adjust in both 23 positions and 24. Some people don't like futures and options. That's fine. Then they're the ones throwing the dart saying, oh, I was supposed to sell a year ago. Now what do I do now? The number one thing I hear, Connor, at marketing meetings is well, it's below my cost of production. And I said, yes, I do. And when we stayed at 750 for a year, we were above your cost of production. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. We're in a taken away period. So what do they do next? Connor, I give you the easy ones. Well, you don't have to answer that because they have a lot of choices, right? What are you telling folks out in your area, though?
Yes, sir. It's time to have a plan, right? If we're sitting on that old crop, I think it's time to start converting into cash. Look at our basis market. Let's put a pencil to it and go from there. And if we haven't done anything for 23, we haven't started on 24. And so let's get 23 right. And then let's start talking about 24 and plan for that big carry number and for lower prices, right? Start defending that balance sheet.
Absolutely.
So,
Let's look at a couple charts real quick. Do you have any other slides you want to share, or we'll do charts and move it over to Brady? Yeah.
yeah, a
Natural
couple
gas.
headlines, but let's jump right
Yeah.
into it. Yep.
Okay. Natural gas. Look at this where we started this week. This line right here. This was January 12th. That wasn't too long ago. Wow. What'd you figure that was? Close to a 20% break for the week?
24% drop on the week, Tommy. So
yeah, that's incredible. And you know how that happens? Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, the very same weather services that are getting us and others excited during that June, July, August period, they switch their game to, hey, natural gas traders, watch us, click like and subscribe. And so everyone, whoever everyone is, or a lot of folks really took an aggressive long position in natural gas, which was fine. But if they weren't able to get out on Friday, then we gapped open lower on Monday, and we've done nothing but trade down. Natural gas is down 100 today. I want to go back and look at a weekly of this. And the folks, if you trade grains and you get whipsawed, there's people trading natural gas getting whipsawed. So look at this. I mean, we all the way back from 21, those high levels. This is where when you see natural gas up here, no doubt in my mind, this is what helped create that record high fertilizer cost. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And so now we're tanking. So folks out there, not a call necessarily to your futures broker, but a call to action to the cash market. Call your fuel guy. Speaking of fuel, crude oil has crept back up, almost looking at a 75 handle for crude. Every time we get in the lower 70s, you start to think United States government is going to become a trader and build up that strategic reserve. Any other things you want to say about natural gas?
Nope, good on natural gas. Other thing I'd look at, Tommy, I'm going to kick it over to South America. We've got these outside consulting firms. The one I saw was Agro Consult, and they're taking their forecast down. They took it down 5 million metric tons from last month to 153 million. This is 1.5 million below CONAB's number and significantly below 3 million metric ton below what we printed on the January WASDE. We're seeing more of this, and this is gaining traction. I think we talked about it yesterday about that discourse of what the estimates, what we think's out there, and what the USDA and CONAB's printing. And so my first reaction is just to be careful buying into that, right? Betting against the USDA CONAB numbers, it's a tricky subject. It's tough to do. So, but we're seeing that discourse, and it'll be interesting to see going forward. Are we going to see the USDA drop and get more to those estimates, or what's going to happen in the next few months?
Yeah, those private estimates kind of remind me of Monday crop ratings reports, where people bite off on that bullish story on those crop rating reports, and they just don't stop. If you marketed based on crop rating reports this year, you had a horrible year. So put that in your
It did not
notebook.
go well.
Little tidbit of the day: when things are bullish with rating crop reports, those are probably sell and protect type opportunities. My own personal experience, when I get wrapped up in the emotion of those crop ratings, remember when they're like, oh, state of Illinois dropped 11 points. Remember that this year? State of Illinois had a good crop. Indiana had a record crop. Yeah, Iowa's down a little. They should have been. It was really hot and dry.
Yeah.
Other states just really did well. We're going to have to market, but go ahead.
Oh, it'd be, Illinois ratings. It'd be interesting to see. We should pull that up and see what the ratings are. And we ended at a 206 yield, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk a lot so you don't have to talk. I know you don't feel well. Hey, if you want to step out, that's fine. Let's bring in Brady Huck. I know he has cattle, and we may retire Connor B's numbers for the day as he gets put on the bench sick. No, he's there. Just don't cough, right? Brady Huck, what do we have, young man? Let me get Brady. While I still have my charts up, can I pull up a cattle chart and talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, you bet. Let's take a look at it.
Okay. Yeah, you and I were talking about June cattle, and we were looking at dailies. I might have drawn some lines here, but you said that halfway back would be 180. Is that correct?
Yeah, right in that mark. It's a little different on different charts that you look at, but April or June, we've got a little more upside to get to half back of that break. I think most of them are at the 38% retracement right now. So I really like Fibonacci retracements, and when you have moves, traders trade them, and they're popular, and you got to keep an eye on those numbers. But yeah, half back in that 180ish area on the June.
Yeah, some people might say long-term trend that cattle are still in a bull market. Let's look at a weekly here. I did ask you that on the show before. Hey, are cattle in a bull market? They sure went up at a incredible. I'm going to hit the active contract. This blends them all. Well, I guess if you were going from the bottom left, young man, to the top right, that is what a bull market looks like, isn't it?
That looks like a bull market still to me. Will we take out that previous high going forward or not? That's the $1 million
Look at me
question.
going with the little lines there. I'm real proud of
That's
myself.
fancy
Look at that
chart work.
Hey,
there.
take your right hand, put it on your left shoulder. Okay, feeder cattle, real quick. Same thing. Let's go with the most active contract. This is a weekly, Brady, and there we are. That's
okay. Very similar type of bottom left, top right. Trend is still up there, but we've had a big move. I mean, you look at the March feeder contract sold off $60 a hundredweight, 270 high down to 210, and we're at 230, mid 230s, 233 right now.
Yes, sir. There's your March contract. Yeah, look at those prices. Okay,
$60 a hundredweight move. That's a massive move, Tommy. I mean, on an 8-weight steer, that's a lot of dollars. So.
Yeah, like I said, I was at that show, and someone from the cattle industry, a gal who raises cattle, said, "What do you know about cattle?" I say, "It's never cost you more to produce a pound of beef. You better be doing something. If you want to do an insurance-based thing, an option-based thing, something. But it'd be real sad to go to the banker and watch this drop a bunch and say, yeah, we were up higher, we broke hard, we bounced, and then we broke again, and I did nothing. Nothing's going to be a choice." And nothing may work out, and nothing may not work out so well. But
well, at $250, $250 a pound versus $1.50 a pound. Just think about the equity you're tying up to feed a pen of cattle. That equity's got to return in these interest rates. I think that's really important to remember and think about. What's it cost to tie up that equity?
The stage is yours. Cattle on feed pre-report for Mr. Brady Huck.
Yep, big report coming out at 2. Monthly cattle on feed report. Trade's looking for 2.2% higher on feed number. As of January 1st, lower placements. Marketing is look pretty in line, and we've usually got a good handle on marketings because we get some government data that backs that up. But the surprise is going to be which side of the boat do the numbers come in there, and will it catch the trade off guard? We've had a great week in the cattle market. Feeders are up $4 to $5 a hundredweight. Fats are up 2.5 to 3.5 a hundredweight. Been a good week here. LRP will be available post-report. It's where you can see the report. You could buy a policy for fed cattle or feeder cattle after the report. We'll come in and do a live breakdown post-report to crunch the numbers, dig into it.
Very good. Very good. Well, we went a little long. I hope Connor's feeling well. And with that, I do have one special request. Do you have any more slides on there? Or is that it?
That's all I got, Tommy.
That's fine. We went plenty long. To everyone out there watching, thank you. If you could do me one favor this weekend, and go out and click on this young man's podcast. And Joe, put it back on the bottom how they get a hold of them. But if you go on YouTube and you click, I believe it's Backroads podcast right there, Backroads of Illinois podcast with Cesar Delgado. Go on YouTube, click like, subscribe. You are going to be shocked at the talent that this young man has been able to rope up, and he's a great leader in agriculture, and I think we need to get behind him. With that, Mr. Brady Huck, you're going to do a little premium content after the close. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep. We'll come recap the report here after the close.
Sounds good. Let's wrap it up with Gina G. Everyone, Tommy, Brady, Connor, have a great week. If you need anything, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM, info@ATI ProMedia. With that, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.